Hey guys, this video has been long coming. A company called Homegrown has sent me some sprouts with the idea that I eat sprouts every day. This is a viable food source. Some sprouts are very high in nutrients and some are actually high in protein. You're just going to have to do a little bit of research. Now what we're going to be sprouting is over 5 days. I'm going to basically show you how the rotation works so that in 5 days from now, we will start eating sprouts on different things. You know, I like me a good toast avocado sandwich with sprouts. That's delicious. And I'm going to bake my own bread this time, so it's going to be super cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we need some water. Your water needs to be somewhere between 68 and 72 degrees from what I can tell on the internet. I'm just going to use an old mat. It's currently 75 degrees in here, so it's going to be, room temperature is definitely going to work for me. But what we want to do is we're going to make sure that we're using water that is actually at a good temperature to start to germinate the seeds. This water is way too warm, so we're going to put a little bit of cold water in there and see what happens. And if we can't get it below that, there we go. Now we're in the range that we're looking for. All right, so we're good to go. We have the right temperature water to germinate seeds in, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. So the method that I'm going to use is the jar method. And in that case, all we have to do is take off the lids, and we're going to be doing two different types of seeds to get started today. So all we really need is these rings right here. Go ahead and give your jar just a quick rinse. It doesn't really matter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with the broccoli. Let's start with the salad sprouts, which I've already opened and taken a look at. These are the salad sprouts right here. I'll leave a link below so that you guys can figure out what you want to do if you would like to look into purchasing some of these. For this first one, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon. From my experience, it's really easy to overdo it, and you just need to use the minimum amount of seeds possible. So we're going to take those, and we're going to put those in there. And those are the sprouts. We'll go set those to the side. And then we're going to start the broccoli. I'm just going to pull that open. And these come with Ziploc tops, so you can easily close these up. There's actually like a little card inside on tips for germination. Interesting. But the instructions are actually on the back, and they're the exact same as the other. So once again, we're going to use 1 teaspoon of broccoli. There we go. It's literally that amount. It's that small of an amount. I'm going to close up these bags so we don't have a mess that we don't want to deal with later. And we'll set them to the side because we'll be doing more of the salad sprouts tomorrow, along with some alfalfa sprouts. Alfalfa. All right, so we got this set to the side, and then all we have to do, it's day 1, so we need to soak these for 8 to 12 hours, and we've already got our proper temperature, or water that's in proper temperature, and you're supposed to give these things a rinse, but we can do that later. We can do that after the 12 hours. So you literally just put enough water in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to soak these puppies for 8 to 12 hours. Mix those up. We're going to put our lid. Actually, we're going to make it so that they can breathe. We don't have to do it at this point, but I like to do it anyway because it gives the just that idea that things can breathe a little bit are going to be much better for us. And what I've done is I've just taken one of those half paper towels, ripped it in half. We'll put it across the top here, and then we'll just gently roll the ring down on top of it until it closes. And then we're going to leave this to aerate. Everybody has their own specific way of doing it, but I like doing it this way because I know that it works. And as you can see, I'm going to move the camera here. As you can see, basically we've got our salad sprouts. They're just sitting in there. And then we've got our broccoli. Where was this? Yeah, broccoli sprouts. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to leave these guys and let them sit. I'll put them. Actually, we need to put them in a room temperature dark place. So I'm going to do that now. So now we're over here back at the racks. What I have is I have some actual sprouting containers that I use as a drip pan for when I make my sprouts. These racks are just some racks that I found at the local thrift store that work out just great. They're kind of either a cooking rack or a bread rack. And then over here I've got my backups. These are just the Walmart. You could buy 4 of these for so many dollars. I'm not exactly sure how much I paid for them. Yeah, but for what we're doing is right now we're just going to soak these seeds for 8 to 12 hours. And then all I'm going to do is make sure that they're all in there, and then I'm going to kind of lean it down here on its side, just like that. It's just kind of sitting in the water. And give that a little bit of a... And this is all we have to do for 8 to 12 hours. Now, the additional step, which is no work, is I went to Walmart. You need to keep these things in a dark place for like the first 2 or 3 days. I'm going to cover this up real quick. And I just bought this little swatch of dark cloth from Walmart, and then I just cover it up. Keep that up so Prepper Cat doesn't think it's something to play with. And then that's all you have to do for like the first 2 days. We'll take these out, we'll rinse these tomorrow, and we'll start a new batch. So it's day 2, and we've got our seeds. Last night I rinsed them out after letting them soak. We're going to go ahead and replace these paper towels with something that I used in the past. What I do is I just get a little bit of the plastic-based screen. I put get a razor blade, I put the top of the jar down on something hard, and then I trace around it with a razor blade, and it cuts out these little screens, which are perfect. You'll see those in a minute. So our next step is to rinse out the seeds. You want to do that twice a day. And we're just going to throw these paper towels away. They've served their purpose. So these seeds right here needs to be rinsed out, but the way we rinse them out is actually pretty ingenious. Once you put these screens onto the jars, you don't have to do anything else. Yeah, I know that you can buy these particular setups, but I like to use my own ingenuity, my own supplies that won't cost me anything. I mean, I can put a link down below for some of the supplies that you might be interested in, but the reality is all we need to do now is just rinse these seeds out. And I believe this is the broccoli. I'm just going to give these guys a quick roll. There we go, there we go. I'm going to do this all over again, just to give them a proper drain. There's nothing to it. You can actually see where there are sprouts coming out of the broccoli already, and the idea is that you get all this water out of here, but the seeds are still wet, and then we set it back down in the tray, and it drains, and it aerates out. So that's the general idea. We're going to do this for both this as well as these. And then we're just going to drain that just like that. I'm going to spread those seeds out a little bit on the bottom of that screen. We'll do the same on this one. And then when we put them back, you'll see their position. We're going to start a new set of seeds. I'm going to need, that one's junk. I'm going to need another one, but I've got a couple more cut. And we're going to use, I really like the salad sprouts. I think they taste the best. They don't offer a lot more nutrition than the others, but they still taste the best. So we're going to do another group of salad sprouts, and we're also going to open the alfalfa sprouts. So let's do the salad sprouts first. And just like we did yesterday, we're just going to do a teaspoon. All right. And we'll open up the alfalfa sprouts. These packages just tear open, but they do have like a Ziploc closure in the top of them. We'll do these alfalfa sprouts. At this point, I might want to start marking these jars, because once they get soaked, they kind of look the same. We're doing alfalfa and salad sprouts. All right, so we're just going to need a better screen. We're just going to put some screens on these instead of using the paper towels like we did yesterday. We just put the screens on this, and this solves all of our problems. Get that on tighter. So, get on there. Let's turn you over. In the end, it is screened, so you have to kind of finesse it just a little bit. Now we've got our day 2 sprouts that we're gonna. This screen is not holding up. I gotta fix this screen. Let's try that again. There we go. A little better. I may have to replace this screen, but I just want to give this a general rinse real quick, and then I want to give it enough water so that we can soak it. And then we're going to do the same thing. This one's in here pretty tight. We're just going to get these wet. We're going to give them a quick rinse, and then we're going to soak them. I'm going to make sure that you get all of those seeds down into the bottom. It might be hiding out at the top of the screen. All right. And now we just need to go over and set these up in the dark spot. So let's go over there now. Okay, so now we're back at our racks. This is the day 1 sprouts. So these guys are just going to sit there and dry out. I'll rinse these guys one more time tonight before I go to bed. And I'll do that when I take these guys. They're going to soak for 8 to 12 hours. And then every day we're going to do this cycle. So we'll see you then. Day 3 begins. We've got our jars as usual. We're going to give these a quick rinse so you guys can see this. Let me adjust that camera just a little bit. As you can see, the sprouts are in the background. These are the sprouts from day 1. Hopefully you guys can see we got some sprouts starting to form in there. When I rinse these out, you'll see even more of them. They'll start to fall away. They're already falling away. We already have little baby sprouts in there starting to grow. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give all of our sprouts that we have setting a little rinse. We're going to see if we can't get these guys, all their little dirty nastiness off of them. We'll get that out of our strain or our little fence, and that's all we have to do. These are day 1. Those are the salad sprouts, and these are the broccoli sprouts. The broccoli sprouts are kind of taking their time. I'm not sure how well they're going to come out, but we're going to find out. And we're going to get those guys back down on the drying edge, just like that. These are yesterday's sprouts, and as you can tell, they're already starting to sprout. Let me give that a quick rinse. And whoa, that's warm water. And these guys, we're going to put that on medium water. And these guys have been setting overnight. This is their second rinse today. Obviously, I can't film every single thing that I do with you guys, but let's put these here, and you can see they're trying. I think they're trying to sprout. I've never sprouted broccoli before in this way, so we're going to just give these guys a nice little rinse, get all the water out of it. The seeds have a tendency to fill up the screen, but I want them down there drying out. And now we're going to be running out of space, so we're going to put these guys. Well, actually, these guys are going out into the Sunlight because it's time for them to start growing. So we'll just rotate these guys. And this is yesterday's. We're going to give it a rinse. We should see sprouts on these guys tomorrow. So now these are yesterday's. And then now, like I said, these are going to go out on racks to be put in the window. I'm going to put these guys in not direct sunlight, but indirect sunlight. And then we're going to put a paper towel underneath them. We're going to put these guys up in the window. We're going to put them up in that window right there. You'll see that next time. But for now, let's just go ahead and get them out of the way. Because these guys have already got 2 days growth on them. We should start seeing a lot more sprouts. All right, so as usual, we're going to do the broccoli sprouts. Let's turn that off for sound's sake. 1 tablespoon of broccoli sprouts. And as usual, those are the broccoli sprouts. Sorry about the sunlight, but that's the way the sun comes into the kitchen this time of day. Ah, come on now. And then we're going to do, well, that's alfalfa. I want salad sprouts. We're going to do salad sprouts. I love the salad sprouts. Basically, every other jar is salad sprouts that I'm sprouting. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon inside of there. We're going to put our lids on with our pieces of screen that we've cut out. Remember to use this as your cutting template. Don't use the lid. The lid is too small. Matter of fact, I may have to replace some of these other ones the next time around. We get these guys firmly in place. You can tap them in the middle, see if they're going to work. I'm going to take this. I'm going to give it a little bit of just a quick rinse, and then we're going to let it soak for 8 to 12 hours. And the salad sprouts, they seem to come up the best. Here we go. And then we just kind of set these guys up. We're going to get it back underneath the towel and wash, rinse, repeat. So, last day, day 5. What are we looking at, guys? Here, let me show you what we're looking at. We've actually got to the point now where almost every one of them are now in the window. I kind of took a day off, but I wanted to show you the very last piece of the puzzle. We're going to do up some salad sprouts. These guys are my favorite. I think that they grow the fastest. Also got a little surprise for you. If you stick around to the end of the video, you'll see a different way of doing this. As usual, half a tablespoon is what I'm doing, because you don't really need a lot. You can end up making more sprouts than you can actually eat at any one time. And I'm just going to do 2 of these because, like I said, I really like the salad sprouts more than anything else. We're going to put our homemade lids on there, and this is exactly how they look. It's just some plastic screen that I've cut out using the ring as my template. They work perfectly. You don't have to pay $10 on Amazon when you probably got some leftover screen just laying around the house. So we've got that. Those guys are on there good. I'm going to put some room temperature water in there. We're going to rinse it out real quick, which these brand new seeds out real quick. And remember, this is going to be day 1 for these seeds. Some people call it day 0. But and then we're going to leave these in water. And we're going to cover them up. You guys have seen the black towel. There's no reason to show that to you again. And we're just going to let those guys soak. All right, so next step, we set these guys to the side. Let's go and put them underneath right now. Those guys will stay under there for 2 days, just like all the other ones. I'm going to get rid of that right there. We'll just set it over here. I've got this container right here. I can leave a link in the bottom. I found this. This is made by Rubbermaid. It actually has a vent in the top of it that will let your vegetables breathe so they won't mold. There we go. Let me get that up there. Actually, there's like a vent in the top, and it'll keep your vegetables from molding. And then it's time to go after our very first set of sprouts. And let's see, we're going to do these. We're going to do a quick rinse on these. And the nice thing is we can do everything in our jars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some paper towels just to get rid of any extra moisture, because what will happen is when you put it in the fridge, being cold will stop the process. Get those off there. There's one, we'll throw that in the sink. And there's 2 right there. Give these guys a quick rinse. Cold water preferably. Because remember, we want to stop that process. You guys can't see any of what I'm doing under there, can you? All right? That's all right. Get as much of that out of there as possible. And if you remember from the very beginning of the video, we'll put that in the sink. Let's take a harder look at it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our salad sprouts out, or our sprouts, and we're going to get rid of all of the extra seeds. We're going to get rid of all the stuff that we're not going to want to consume. So one of the reasons I put them on a paper towel before I do that is because a lot of the seeds will fall off as soon as I dump them. They're going to end up back over there on another paper towel. But what we want to do, make sure this is in there. I'm really working at a weird angle here. Is what we want to do is we just want to mix them up in this ice cold water, or I have well water, so it's like always cold. This not only stops the sprouting process, but we're also going to be washing them, and that'll keep bacteria away. And then what I'll do is I'll just put these up. I'll get these sprouts. Some people wash them over and over and over until like every seed comes off, every covering for the seeds come up. I just like to let the seeds, they'll kind of separate themselves a little bit. But I like to just do this by hand, get what I can out of it, and then call it. I mean, some people will sit here for 10, 20, 30 minutes trying to get every single sprout out of here. But as you can see, I basically have 5 days worth of sprouts. Tomorrow I'll probably start eating them, and then that's what you end up with left over. So down the drain it goes. Okay, and then we're going to start all over again with the broccoli sprouts. We'll just take those broccoli sprouts. We'll get them in that cold, ice cold water that's coming from the well. I mean, if you can't do it with ice cold water, that's cool. But we're basically going to give it a good wash. And one of the reasons that we put them on paper towels is I want to get rid of any excessive water that may be in the sprouts themselves. And you can see if you just let the water run on it, it'll just like start to, there we go. I'm going to get some of the seeds just like that. You see what happened there? You can do that. They'll kind of come to the top and gum up all by themselves. But that's once again, that's a slow way of doing it. So now we're just going to pull these broccoli sprouts out, put them on the towel. And this could actually be a little bit more. These are really, really smaller than I expected. But they've got some pretty good nutritional value. So I think it's more important that, I think it's better to have quality than it is quantity. And you can see the seeds down below that have settled, which should make this easier to do. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try scooping them up like that. And then we can kind of get rid of the seeds. And if you got a better way of doing this, put that down in the comments. I'll be happy to hear you, because I'm far from the sprout, the king of sprouts. I'm just doing what works, what seems to be logical, and you can see I have lots of seeds left over that didn't sprout. And that's going to happen. Not all of them, regardless of the quality of the seeds that you buy, you will have seeds that will not sprout. There's no way around it. Okay, let's take a good look at them now. Okay, so these over here on this side, these are the salad sprouts. These are the ones that I love. They're crispy, they're light, they have lots of flavor. These are the broccoli sprouts. I've never had them before, but they don't feel as crispy. But I know that they're done because they're starting to make leaves. And once they start to make leaves on any sprout, that means that nutritional value is starting to go down. And the general idea is that you have this massive amount of nutrition in a very small package. Okay, guys, so the last step, I normally just put a paper towel on the bottom just to get any excessive water out of it. I take my sprouts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and partition these off by day. So I'm going to take my salad sprouts and put them over there, and I'm going to take my broccoli sprouts and I'm going to put these guys over here. And then the next day I'll just add them basically based on 5 days. And that way if the paper towel gets a little crazy, then I can just swap that out. I can put a paper towel on, I can flip it over, and then that'll be it. And then we're going to take a good hard look at it. There we go. Hopefully you guys are getting a good view of it. I don't know about the lighting here. But 5 days worth. As usual, this is what's left over right now. And that last set of jars in a couple days will go up in the window. This was day 2. Where are we at? Day 3, and then day 4 is back inside. All right. I hope that covers it. what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some links below. I'm going to leave a link to the Rubbermaid, which is really kick-ass, perfect for sprouts. I'm going to leave a link to the company who sells these seeds, who was nice enough to give them to me. And then here in the next week or so, I'm going to just start making like lunchtime videos showing you using the sprouts, putting them on different things, different ways to apply them or cook them. And then, yeah, I think that'll be it. And as usual, if you like what I'm doing, you want to support the channel, I'll leave a link below. Go down there to my link tree, check that stuff out. If you like that stuff, go right ahead. If you want to get the advanced version of this stuff, go ahead and check out my Patreon. People are figuring out real quick. If you're part of the Patreon, you get direct contact with me, and yeah, I'll answer your questions like that. And of course, special thanks to Homegrown for providing all of these supplies, so I can show you guys how you can grow stuff that's nutritional in the winter in your house. Zero effort. All right, guys, until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Hey, you're still here. Like I said, bonus content. Check this out. So I've grown these before, and I've done it similar to this, but I wanted you to see this is another way of doing it. This paper towel's a little dry. I definitely need to water these. I've got to go get a spray bottle today because I want to do it right. But these are the salad sprouts, and these are the broccoli sprouts. So, and you don't need this light. I just didn't have any more window space to put these things in. So this is after 2 days. I just took basically another plate on top of it to cover it, keep it in the dark for 2 days, keeping it wet. And yeah, these things are going to grow straight up to the light. They should be big and strong. They grow a lot differently, but yeah, that's another way of doing it. Thanks for sticking around. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.